bomba, canlı bomba. Ölüler var şu anda.
It was a terrorist attack targeting one of the world's top tourist destinations. A suicide bomber killing 10 people and injuring 15 more. Most of the dead were German tourists. Officials claim the bomber was from so-called Islamic State and had crossed from Syria. A reminder that of all nations combating IS, Turkey's proximity makes it among the most vulnerable of all.
It was a suicide bomb, yes. I went there and saw it and came back to the hotel. There was chaos. Everybody was running all over the place.
The attack happened just in front of the Blue Mosque, one of the country's most famous sites, and a short distance from three more, the Grand Bazaar, the Hagia Sophia Museum and the Topkapi Palace. With around 12 million visitors last year, Istanbul is now the fifth biggest destination in the world. But this attack was clearly intended to take the city off the tourist map. While the injured were being rushed to hospital, the government announced a broadcast ban on its investigation. But by this afternoon, Turkish media had identified the bomber, allegedly a Saudi named Nabil Fadli. Turkey's president told foreign ambassadors there was no difference between IS, known as Daesh, and Kurdish PKK or leftist militants, which might have left this audience wondering whether with so many enemies, would the Turks really focus on the one they fear most?
I'm asking openly here, is there any other country struggling with Daesh and paying as high a price as Turkey? We already face a struggle against the outlawed terrorist organisation PKK, but there are some people and some countries that insist on not understanding this.
IS was blamed for this suicide bombing of a Kurdish and leftist rally in Ankara, which killed over 100. The motive then may have been to plunge Turkey into civil war. Today's outrage near the Blue Mosque suggests a wider campaign, a self-declared caliphate attacking tourists in the former Ottoman Caliphate, with both Muslims and non-Muslims at risk. One clue came from this IS video in which a Turkish jihadist called for attacks against his own country.
Ey Türkiye'deki muvahhid kardeşlerimiz.
Otherwise, he said, Istanbul would fall to Western crusaders, while the rest of Turkey would become a Kurdish state, and not an Islamic one. The same month, the Turks struck back by allowing American jets to bomb IS from Turkey. And they've clamped down on fighters crossing the Syrian border. The Turks claim today's bomber crossed recently and wasn't on a watch list. Years of turning a blind eye to this jihadist traffic are now coming back to haunt them. And if the attacker did come from Syria, that's not much of an incentive for Turkey to host yet more Syrian refugees, still crossing into Greece at the rate of thousands a day. From Syria to this coastline to Istanbul, Turkey is now Europe's front line in more ways than ever.